Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the She Shack. Woo! Welcome to the She Shack, everybody. I am so happy that you have taken some time out of your schedule tonight to join in on the She Shack conversation. Real men don't cry. That's a lie. And we had a fantastically fabulous introduction to this conversation last week on the She Shack Live, and it blew up. It had a lot of different perspectives, a lot of interest. We did a little digging to get to the etiology of why this perception is what it is, where it make men think that it's not okay for them to cry. And I can see you already ready to get started with tonight's conversation. Thank you so much for actually joining in, and we're going to get the conversation on. But before we jump into the conversation, because I see you already ready to get it popping on the She Shack tonight. But before we do that, we have to give acknowledgement to our God, okay? Every Tuesday we take a moment and think about what it is that we're thankful for, and tonight is no different, where we are going to make sure that we start this night off right. Right, and when in starting the night off right, we invite God into every situation, especially in this conversation, because we want it to be enlightening, empowering. I've gotten so informative. It's been so much information that has been shared. And tonight I also have the absolute pleasure of having my grandson sit in and just listen to this conversation. So with that being said, guys, please, by all means, no foul language, no vulgar language, nothing that's going to be insultive to each other, and you have a kid in the room, okay? All right, so let's get started. I'm going to tell you what I'm thankful for. That's how we're going to get started. Oh, I forgot. I have my other grandson in the room. Bentley is in here with us sitting in tonight, guys. So as we getting our She Shack started, and so the first thing I wanted to share is what I'm thankful for, and I'm actually thankful for all of you. I'm really thankful that everyone take time every Tuesday night to either watch the show, share the show, participate in the show, a combination of, and I want you to know that I'm immensely grateful and appreciative. I thank God for giving me this platform. I thank God for it being able to reach out and impact other people. And most of all, I thank God for all of you. So let's just get started. I see someone already jumped in and said, the hardest thing in America to be is a black man. No other person in America has it harder than us. How many people will actually agree or disagree with that statement? And I think it's interesting that you said that. I honestly, I don't disagree with that statement when you saying the hardest thing in America is to be a black man. But I need you to be a little bit more specific with us tonight and tell us or elaborate on that and tell us why is it so immensely difficult, not from the things that we are not aware of. Obviously, we know about, the attack on black men, the bad stigmas and stereotypes they have on our black men, the targeting that they receive from police and other people in the judiciary system. Automatically think the worst of a black man when they see one. And that's what our platform is we're giving our black men a voice, right? And when we doing that, we are removing stereotypes, because it's important to always remember that we have that next generation watching and paying attention to what's happening, and we want to empower them, and we want them to know their power, know that they're royalty, know that they come from kings and queens, right? But if we are also have to take accountability for some of the misinformation that's being put out there. And when I say we have to take some accountability for some of the misinformation, is because you don't want to say, hey, well, I can't say you. I don't want to say that because I don't want to seem so opinionated about it. But let's just take for instance, if you hanging with a whole bunch of people that is selling drugs, drinking, dropping out of school, and then you're upset because they assume that you're doing it too. If that's not what you about, and if that's not what you into, then why is it, or how could it be that you stand out from that when you're right in the midst of it? So I see that first of all, let me just put a shout out to 716 Flea. I appreciate you. You are really like on it tonight, and I thank you so much because usually when the She Shack first gets started, we got to give people an opportunity to jump in. But I absolutely appreciate that you are so passionate about this topic and have so much to say. So you said the majority of us are born into this world in broken families, poverty, high expectations from black women. The generational curse of being born black in this era is sickening. Oh, okay. So you think a part of being the difficulties that you experience as a man in America is related to the high expectation of women? And is that a personal experience? Is that something that, hey, baby girl, thank you for joining in on the She Shack. I love you. I see my husband done popped in. Okay, so if that's not the case, because I'm sorry, responding back to 716 Flea, where you said that it's hard, being the hardest thing is being a black man in America, and then you said that some of these things are related to the being born into a broken family, and also high expectation of black women. So when I asked you the question, if that is perpetuating the difficulties that you experience as a man, you said no. So please, can you provide us some clarity on that? You said, I can say out of 10 friends I had growing up, only two of them had a mother and a father as a support system. So, I mean, so growing up, do you think because it was you had those adversities, is that was a contributing factor to say, I'm tough, and I have to be tough, and I cannot show a sense of vulnerability. So with that, even if I feel like I want to cry or if I'm feeling emotional, I won't do that because I don't want to be looked up on as being soft or that I can't handle the situation. Because like in our chat, the chat that we've had going, we had a different perspectives. We had both men and women perspective, and what I found to be quite interesting was that there was some women that joined in the chat and said that they didn't mind that their mate would cry, but it only had to be like it was situational and circumstances that was related to it. Like, oh, like if you experience death in your family, then it's acceptable for you to cry. But if you experience immense joy, or if you experience some other form of sadness or emotional thing, then it's not okay for you to cry because it's a character flaw. Or and the other piece was that it'll make them feel like, oh, I don't know how to handle it if they see their mate, their husband, their counterpart in tears. Okay, you got some. I'm gonna have to roll the comments back. They're coming up pretty fast. Okay, so it say, do you understand how hard it is to overcome the obstacles that are placed in front of you as a teen? And I'm going to answer that question. And then it says, I got an opinion, but a man, well, it's okay. You can still put your opinion in the chat and we will address it. And then it says, oh my God, you really have on those beautiful, sexy black leather pants. Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. And then we says, when black teens aren't play or when black teens aren't supported, that puts them in a place called survival mode. Hey, Deshara! And then, thank you, my daughter got you straight on that. So, to answer your question, the first thing I'm going to say in regards to do I understand how difficult it is, and I'm going to have the answer to that question is yes. And I'm not just like facetiously making that statement or being sarcastic. Giving you a little background information on me, I grew up in the projects for a short part of my life. Thank God for my mother who was just determined to carve a way to make life better for us. But growing up in the projects, living in the Magnolia projects, living in the Callio projects, growing up in the lower Ninth Ward, I absolutely understand the difficulties that a person face and they deal with, and how hard that can make it for you to thrive. You know, so I do get it, and I'm not minimizing what survival mode means. But when you're in survival mode, at what point, at what state in your life you decide that it's not just about surviving, but it's also about living, experiencing life, which is important. It's important to not just remain in a survival mode of life, because you're missing out on so much that life has to offer by staying in survival mode. Then you say when survival mode begins to start, it's because those teens want to find a way out. And often those black teens become a product of their environment. I'm not disagreeing with you again. I have experienced that firsthand. A lot of my friends that I grew up with, they didn't make it out the hood. They died. You know, the gun violence and things of that nature, drug and alcohol abuse. But survival mode doesn't always equate to something negative. Survival mode can also equate to something positive, because my survival mode and my determination was that I'm getting out of this hood. And if it means that I have to work harder, make sacrifices that did not include being able to hang out and do all the social things, because I'm determined to get out. And for me, it was education. That was my choice. I chose that I was going to make good marks in school, and that I was going to attend college, and that I was going to do whatever I needed to do to make life better. But it wasn't more so about survival mode for me. It was about determination, to do something greater, to do something better than just survive. Then you said, thank you, Mode Will. You said, I cry to my woman when she leaves me, and she always takes me back. That's not authentic. That's because you know you're going to miss her when she gone, so you're going to say, oh, baby, please don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. And I think do you think that's even unfair to your mate, that, you know, maybe you do something that, that could potentially end your relationship, but you instead, you make a choice to do it anyway, but then when your mate decides to leave, now I'm going to cry. And absolutely, that's manipulation. And that's not fair. You know, that's actually a selfish outlook on a relationship. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's not how, when you love someone, you love them completely and without manipulation, without, those I can do it because they forgave me the last time, and I'm gonna do it this time. So I'm gonna drop down these big crocodile tears, and I know that he or she is gonna take me back. That's absolutely that's emotional abuse. That's love bomb abuse. That's not what we are promoting, and what uh that's not what love is. That's absolutely not what love is. A lot of people do that, and but a lot of people do that. I'm not. A lot of people do that is true, but we also have a lot of hurt people, right? And hurt people. And one of the biggest things, it is control. It is. It's a form of control. It's a form of mental abuse. Um, Okay, 76 Fleet says fast forward to men that don't begin to get out of those environments. They are immediately expected to protect and provide. So I'm gonna go back to your comment because I'm missing a piece of it, I'm sure. But what I think what I think we should at least acknowledge is that we teach our little boys, that it's not okay to cry. We actually teach them that. We teach them like, oh, toughen up, boys don't cry. And what when we're teaching them that as little boys, we're growing up with those little boys are going to become teenagers, and those teenagers is going to become men someday. So if Mo will, we're gonna address that. We're gonna address that. We are definitely going to address that. But if we're teaching them to suppress their emotions as children, we're teaching them not to be able to express their emotions as adults, and literally they will grow up and have failed relationships because they're not equipped to handle emotional situations. And love is an emotion, but love also is a word of action, and it involves being able to effectively communicate. And if you're not able to do that, then you are not functioning or operating effectively. So Will said his only problem is that he drank too much. So that might be relative to being, maybe having a little issue with some alcohol if you drinking too much. Okay, well come on down, honey. I would love to have you. Love can be a four-letter. I think that's based on experience. Absolutely. I agree with that. Communication without understanding is a waste of time. It is. It is. I want to know how many of our viewers, our male viewers right now, can say that there was a point in their lives that they was told not to cry. Like if they fell and bruised their knee, or if they whatever it was, you shake it off because you're a boy and you're not supposed to do that. And if so, how did that affect you in your adulthood, in your relationships? Not just with women, just relationships in general. You're absolutely correct. So Mara says, I feel like communication without comprehension is a real waste of time. And when you think it's a real waste of your time trying to communicate with someone that doesn't comprehend, or they're not able to relate to the expression that you are sharing. Right. I got it. Absolutely. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you was trying to communicate and that person was not receiving what it was? Oh, okay. So your okay. So your counterpart is some years older than you, and do you think that that actually affects the way that you communicate, especially when it's dealing with emotional situations? Hey, Facebook, I see you. While you're answering that question, I'm just gonna pop in and just share a little bit of information with everyone. Just and some reminders. Don't forget, guys, that we have a coat drive through my nonprofit organization, the V Love Foundation, and our initiative is propelled to give 100 coats away. We want to try to spread some love this winter season, this holiday season, and there are so many people that are without a warm coat. So if you have a gently used coat, you can donate that. Or if you would like to purchase a coat and donate it to the V Love Foundation, you can do that as well. You can actually find us on the web at www.vlovefoundation.com, and you can send us out some information, your location or drop location where we can share that with you, where you can drop the coats off, or we can actually come and pick it up. Also, starting December the 1st, the V Love Foundation is hosting its first annual toy drive. And so it looked like we have company.
How am I supposed to get in here?
So yeah, I switched up the She Shack a little bit, changed the view because we was trying to get the fireplace in the eye shot. Did y'all kind of like what we doing here? So I'm gonna let you in.
All right, well, let me in.
Okay, I'll let you in.
All right, I'll move the couch.
I'll let her in this time. Don't you do this. Don't you. Okay, go to sleep.
Look, it's stuck.
Welcome to the She Shack.
Hey, Mom.
I see that you had some information that you wanted to share with us on the live about our topic.
I love, but I had to get Tim here.
Well, you're more than welcome to join in on the She Shack. We'd love to have you. What you got for us?
Come on, Billy.
Time out. There's no walking through the camera. Wait a minute, y'all. This just turned into a whole live family show. Oh, this is not. There's no walking through the cameras. Okay. So you want to share with us your thoughts on the topic? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta go back.
Excuse me.
Thank you. No, so it was somebody saying on here about only two of his friends had his mom and dad in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying that basically I think that it's hard for black men to share their emotions, their thoughts, their opinions and stuff like that. Because I seen this video where it was saying that women pick up on masculine energy just due to their own growing up having to be strong or being the firstborn child, had to take care of the younger siblings or etc. So it's when they meet a man that has any kind of feminine energy, say for instance he was only raised by his mom, so he's used to expressing himself, having healthy communication. When he meets that masculine energy from a female, it's it's not received well. She's not receptive to that kind of energy because she wasn't brought up in that kind of situation. She was brought up to be, strong, be independent. Maybe she was brought up to keep her own emotions to herself because she had other responsibilities where she couldn't take the time to even divulge in her own emotions. So I feel it's hard for black men to express themselves, especially because when you're being raised by your mom may be the one who teach you to express your emotions, love on women, etc. And then you have your dad, where he may be teaching you how to be strong, he may be teaching you how to provide. He's not teaching you that emotional aspect of what comes with being in a relationship. So I feel like when you have like a one-sided household, you're always going to end up falling short when it comes to either having too much emotions, where it's like you want to keep expressing yourself, you want to communicate, you want your partner to know how you're feeling. Like even if you're having a bad day or you just got fired and you want to cry about it, it's just like some women are like, toughen up, go find another job. Like, what are you crying about it for? You have some women that want to like, cater to you. They want to go, rub your feet. They want to go make you a dinner. They want to pour you some wine to try to, make you feel better. So I feel like it just depends on the woman and her background as well. And I feel like some men don't consider the background of the woman, of like where she may have to, where she had to grow up in. Like, what was her background? What did she have to experience? I feel like sometimes men can be selfish in their own emotions and think that like nobody cares, nobody wants to hear what they have to say, no one wants to take the time to find out what's wrong with them. But I feel like sometimes it's not that, it's just maybe she's not capable of doing that because she never had to do that, or she was never given the chance to do that. So then
or to even learn how to do it.
So it's like, how is she going to do that with you if she can't do that with the next person? So well, yeah, that's all I wanted to say was,
I think
it could be both sides. Well. It could be both sides. I think that men also need to take the time to even figure out their emotions. I feel like when, say for instance, a man is ready to express his emotions, like, I'm having a bad day, but I feel like men don't take the time to identify what they are feeling. They'll just say like, oh, well, I'm not in the mood, or oh, I had a bad day, but it's like, what are you feeling? Like, I could say, Caleb, like, he may be upset. I'm like, Caleb, what's wrong? I don't know. But what do you like? What else is wrong with you? Like, are you upset? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Like, they don't know how to pinpoint exactly what emotion they're feeling. So then us women that actually are in tune with our emotions, like, how can we help you if we don't even know what you're really feeling? We can just sense that you're upset, but we don't know if you're really upset. Are you frustrated? Do you feel like you went to work and you wasn't heard? Do you feel like, do you feel sad? Do you feel some bitterness? Something happened where you feel a little bitter? Do you feel like somebody shaded you? So it's just like, they'll just give you like a one-word answer, and then you have to like dive through and like swim through their emotions to see which one. So then they'll feel like you're trying to keep asking questions. They don't really know the answer. So it's like you kind of get in a one-sided conversation. Like, oh, what's wrong? I don't know. Oh, well, are you upset? I don't really know. Oh, well, so then it's kind of like you don't even feel like you want to talk about it as the woman, because it's like, I feel like now I'm pulling something out of you that you don't really want to give me. But in reality, he don't know how to pinpoint what it is that he's feeling. So I feel like it's just like a both-sided kind of situation, if you ask me. It's both-sided.
I can. So. That's a very interesting point of view. And the reason why I say it's an interesting point of view is because I'm sure what you just explained to us quite clearly, I'm sure both men and women experience that. Because like you like you pointed out, it could be a woman not being able to express herself, and you can have a man who is expressive, and that could also perpetuate, differences and struggles and strife within a relationship. Then on the flip side of that, you can have a man that wants to express his emotions, but don't feel safe, like don't feel that this is a safe place to express them. Maybe because he feels like she'll never understand, or you will never get it because you're a woman. So that's really what our conversation is, to break down those barriers and start to establishing modes of communication and letting men know sometimes it's okay to not know exactly what it is that you're feeling, but to say, oh, I don't know, is really vague. It's like, well, I'm angry, but I don't know why I'm angry. So then why then it makes no sense to be angry. Or to say I'm sad but I don't know why I'm sad is different, because sometimes people feel sad, not sure why they're sad, and that could be something else going on. Clinically could be something else going on. So I don't think it ever should really be ignored when we say I'm not sure why I'm sad. And I think the next question to that is, well, how long has this been going on? Because it's something to make someone feel like even in their uncertainty of their emotion, they're still important.
Yeah,
That it still matters, and that I love you enough that I will engage in conversation with you, and maybe we can navigate it through it together, or maybe this is something greater than this relationship that we have. It's like normalizing having therapy. Like that's a big thing. Like, oh, well, I'm not going to sit on somebody's sofa. I'm not crazy. But if you have a type of sadness that you can't explain, then that's beyond just I'm just having a bad day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, people have to be able to want to have, like, dig deep and have the conversations. Because it's like, if you're asking them, if I say, I'm sad, and then you say, Tamara, why you sad? And then I say, I don't know. And then you get to ask me questions, but because I'm not really in the mood, I don't want to have somebody keep asking me questions when I don't even really know how to identify what's wrong. Like, I know what's wrong, but I can't put the words into a sentence, be like, oh, well, this is wrong, or this is wrong, and this is wrong. So it's like, if you keep asking me questions, then I'm going to shut down because I don't want to have the conversation, or I don't want you to keep asking me questions because I don't have the answer to the question. So you can say, well, how long you been sad? I don't know. Or why you been sad? Or was today the only day you were sad? So then it's just like, maybe you don't want to open your partner up to everything that you've been dealing with. So it's like you just cut the conversation. So that's why I say sometimes it can feel one-sided, because men want to always show that they're strong. They want to show like they got it all together, because that's just what it's been generational. Like, you just get up and go.
Right.
So when you're asking all those questions, that's when you start to open the door of vulnerability. And if they're not ready to open that door to get, like, for you guys to both come together and try to figure it out, then it won't be a conversation that will figure it out.
So we have.
Mom, it's right here.
Oh, I can't. Oh, so you can see it because I can't see it. So what was the?
Yeah, I lost it.
I lost it. I didn't see what the.
I read it.
To go back, it was some. It said something about coming to the table together as a finished product. Okay.
Long as black men is very successful with the abundance of money, majority of women will love you. If you don't come to the table as a finished product, you won't be valued by most women. I don't really agree with that.
I don't necessarily agree with that. And the reason why I say that, because and it's interesting that you even brought that up, because I just had a conversation that I was talking to my son today, and we was discussing finances and experiencing financial hardships and things of that nature. Things of that nature. So, and I asked him. I said, "Well, if money could buy love, why are there so many famous people committing suicide or trying to suppress their emotions through drug and alcohol? Love cannot be purchased. Whether you have $1 million or the richest person in the world, it's not about money." And I believe that that's really a devaluing statement toward women, to think that we would stay in a relationship just because you have money. Because there has to be more substance to a relationship than just money.
Well, I agree, but I disagree, because I know for a fact, especially in my generation, I'm not going to say I don't know generations before me. But I would say in my generation, I feel like social media makes it really, really hard for 9 to 5 men. That's what I would say. Because you have those boys or men or whatever that are scammers. You have like basketball players. You have people that are getting drafted at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So you have those young people that's coming into big money. You have the people that's getting money illegally. You have the people that's, just getting money. So the girls that are my age, they ready to go on trips. They want to go to Turks and Caicos. They want to get a Chanel bag. They want to be with the people that have money because they want the materialistic things. And I know that for a fact that that's what they want.
Okay.
So it's like when you come across a guy, like there was a list on Instagram about, what's not a good first date.
Okay.
And it's like a lot of those places you will see a lot of the young girls saying, oh, I don't want no boy taking me to the Cheesecake Factory, or I don't want no boy taking me here, or I don't want no boy taking me here. So it's like, if the boy really love you, and you really love the boy, but you have this, like, rich girl persona, it's like, oh, I'm too good to go here. I want to go to Steak 48. I want to go to Ruth Chris. I want to go to Maggiano's. I want to go to 4 or 5 star restaurants. But I feel like the problem for girls, which I also seen on the internet, women want things from men that they can't bring to the table themselves. So they want a man that got all this money. They want a man that got this high credit score. They want a man that can buy a house. They want a man that can sign off on a car for them. But let you turn around and ask her to do the things. It's just like, oh, why I gotta do it? Why I gotta do this? Or what, you can't do it? Or you can't do it? So it's just like, I feel like, especially in my generation, Instagram kills everything. Because even with girls, like, girls want to look a certain way. They want to get BBLs. Like, girls are getting BBLs younger. Boys are trying to dive into sports so they can get drafted, or they're trying to start rapping, or they want to sell drugs and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's harder. It's really hard for, like, regular men to find a bad girl, like a girl that's really pretty, a girl that looks nice, that puts herself together, because those girls are looking for guys with money, where the regular girls, which are the girls probably some men are not into, them girls are looking for the regular guys because they don't care if you got money or not. So I feel like sometimes the reason why men get the bad batch is because they're looking for something that they already know the girl is not looking for them. Like, the girl's not looking for you. She's looking for somebody else. So then they put all women in the category like, oh, well, women only want this, and they only want that, and they only want this. But the girl that don't got the biggest boobs and don't got the BBL, and her hair not down her back, but she ready to send 10 toes down with you, you don't want her because she's not as attractive as the next girl. But that next girl, she doesn't want you because you're not in her caliber. You're not what she's looking for.
You're not what she's looking for.
So I feel like that's why men seem to categorize. They see one girl or 2 girls or 3 girls do something, or they get rejected by these 3 girls, then it's a whole woman thing. Like, oh, all women this, all women that. And I don't agree with that. Because once you categorize men, then men don't want to be categorized. Oh, don't put me in a category of all men. I'm not all men. I'm this person. I'm that person. But it's okay for men to categorize women once they encounter this girl or that girl or this girl. Then it's all women act like this. All women want this. All women want that. And that's not the case.
So that's generalizing based on experience. So if you have a couple bad experiences with, a male or a woman, then, all men are dogs, or all women are cheaters, or, those type of things, based on experience, right? And so it's really one of those, almost in a sense of a catch-22. When you're when you're in the dating scene, because I have some friends of mine that are dating, and they're like, throw the whole tree away, throw the whole pool away, it's all over with. But I think oftentimes we get so caught up in wanting to push forward our own agenda into dating, or what we expect, or what we want, or how we expect a person to act, or what we feel, things of that nature. Now here we go. Most women do.
No,
cheat.
women do be cheating. They do.
But most women cheat.
Not all women cheat, but women do be cheating.
Men do cheat too.
No, men cheat too, but I feel like they say, and I would have to agree, I feel like cheating is not a mistake. I feel like there are so many layers.
It's what?
It's not a mistake. Cheating, there's no way in my mind that cheating is a mistake, because there's so many layers. Oh, well, you have the pillows, dear.
Yeah, go and get comfortable, relax.
Oh, where's the wine?
Oh, you want some wine?
I feel like there's so many layers of cheating where I feel like it can't be a mistake. I feel like it comes with like cheating nowadays, especially for my generation. Like back then, cheating probably was like maybe harder. Y'all didn't have phones and internet and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Y'all didn't have all of that. But I feel like for me, cheating is definitely not a mistake because it's like it starts from some form of social media. Like you don't like the picture, you done swiped up. She liked the picture back. You
so
like
it's
the
the
picture
social
back.
media. It's the social media like influencing and encouraging and perpetuating and propelling these behaviors.
Definitely, because you come in and you see something on Instagram you like, and it's an Instagram thing. Once you like a picture and they like a picture back, and then you like another picture, that's you saying I like what I see. That's what that is. That's not just.
But so you can't like what you see and not have a interest of wanting to go further.
But that's what I'm saying. It's layers. You like what you see, and then you decide you want to slide in the DMs, and then the DMs go to let me get your number, and then the number go from well let's link up, and then let's link up go well. Come over now we in
the whole full-fledged. Yeah. So it's levels to cheating.
It is. Cheating doesn't just go one day like I'ma just go out and cheat and then boom it's gonna be a cheating thing. No, I feel like cheating is you get on your phone, maybe you having some issues in your relationship, you get on your phone and you be like, this person look cute and oh my god and oh well my girl she don't do this or my man he don't look like this so let me go like this man picture and then he gets on your Instagram he like what he see so now he probably gonna DM you first to see I see she in a relationship but let's test the waters because that's what they gonna do they gonna test to see
if you gonna bite
or if she really standing 10 toes. And then once
and then that's what gonna say black men don't cheat and you
yes
need to stop.
They do.
And you need to stop this foolishness.
Black men cheat.
You need to stop this foolishness right now.
They cheat.
You just stop that foolishness right now because you know that's not true.
They sure do.
No, just stop it. And now you know that's not true.
Yep, and that's how it go from.
You need to stop that.
It go right from there. It go right from.
And I believe it all starts with the inability to express your true emotions from the rip. Because I believe if you come to the table from the rip, a whole person, collectively whole. You know, you're practicing emotional intelligence. So you are in tune with not only are you in tune with your emotions, you know how to effectively and properly express them. So even if you're in a relationship and that relationship is not going the way you want it to go, or you're not being fulfilled or getting what you desire from it, it's then your responsibility as a man and or a woman, whoever the person is that's not getting what fulfills them. Then it's for you to be a man about it or to be a woman about it and express that to the person that you're with. Because
we have a comment that says most women are influenced by their friends that they love dearly, so they just follow suit.
Oh. Okay, so we're gonna address that because I do believe that friends do influence behavior. So I'm definitely not going to just say, "Oh, that's not true," because that is true. There are a lot of things that influence people's behaviors, including the environment they're in, the people that they choose to hang with. That's why it's really important to ensure that the people that you have involved in your life are lined up with what you're aligned up with you and is reflective of what you stand for. You know, so if you have people that you are friends with and all of these friends are cheating, your mate is supposed to feel secure that you're not cheating. 9 times out of 10, eventually you're going to start doing or picking up some of those behaviors that you see that they're doing.
I think not just cheating. I feel like a lot of women are not comfortable, and I guess I can speak for myself around if you are the only friend that's in the relationship. Like if you have a bunch of guy friends and your man is the only one that's in a relationship out of his guy friends, or you're the only one in the relationship out of your girlfriends. Because when you go out with your friends, when he go out with his friends, all his other friends are surrounded by girls. They trying to go talk to girls. They trying to find girls. Where the girls at? Where the girls at? And he has to be the one that can sit there and, still be a part of his friend group, but not indulge into the other things. And just how you have to be a part of your friend group, but not just for like, oh, well, this man bought us drinks and we're going to go over there and parlay with him because he's buying us drinks all night. You have to be like, no, that's not respectful to what I got going on.
That's not, exactly.
So that's what I'm
and
saying.
That's leading with honor, honesty, humility. Like at the end of the day, and also leading with what you want, giving what you expect, right? Like earlier when you said people come to the table with expectations of things that they can't offer the other person. So if you are not in a space where you know that you can be honorable and that you're honest and you're transparent, and you know that you have a person that is those things, you just got to get out of the way. What you say? I step away for 1 minute, and now y'all talking about cheating women. What happened to men not crying? Listen, this conversation is going. I'm telling you, it's like it keeps rolling. It keeps rolling from one thing to another thing.
Okay.
And then who is this person?
Yeah, right
saying,
now, honestly,
I swear I'm crying over you.
Listen, sir, I just told you she's married. Now you're blocked.
So, because my husband was in the chat, and he definitely would have continued
that you're not being conducive to what we got going over here. You're actually very irritating, so you had to go. Now back to the She Shack.
So, with that being said, listen, 716 Fleet jumped in on a conversation right away and took it like we gonna motorize this conversation and get it going, and he kicked it off with talking about how difficult it was to be a black man in America. He said that was coming out next. How difficult it was to be a black man in America, how how the environment affects how you're able to thrive. He talked about how black women make it hard for black men. He talked about women being unfaithful. We talked about the ability or the inability to be able to express yourself completely without judgment, without being looked upon as being weak or soft. Tamara jumped in and shared a great perspective with us that is not just about men's inability of being able to communicate effectively and appropriately share their emotions and how they feel, even feel safe doing that, because there are times that women actually lack the sensitivity that a man may be even looking for because of their upbringing, because of how they was raised, because maybe they also was taught that you must be tougher and expect a man to be more masculine and not tap into their feminine energy. It says men crying has nothing to do about a woman.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so why do you feel like men crying or not crying? Hold on, time out.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to wait down.
Strike two. So, why do you think it has nothing to do with a woman? I would love to hear from you. Why do you think that it has nothing to do with a woman? And then it says, because I had to bring topics. What did he say?
He said, because I had to bring topics of how does a man get to the point of crying in the school and then get into being broken. And then he said men crying has something to do with women. And then he said there's a ton of reasons how we get into broken places, which is true. That's true.
I absolutely agree. I don't disagree with you. And what I love about what you brought to the conversation, it opens our minds to consider more avenues or more aspects to what propels or perpetuates a person to feel sad, especially from a masculine place. Because when we were in the chat, a lot of people, and sadly so, associated tears with a loss of something or someone. And that's not always what tears are about. You could cry because you're happy, that you are filled with joy, elatement. So it's not always about a sense of loss that's going to bring about an emotional state. He said crying doesn't mean weak. A lot of people don't really know how to handle a man with emotions.
Well, well, I'm gonna say the reason why I think crying does have to do with women, because for when the woman that you are with, you have to be able to be comfortable with her. You have to be able to be trusting in her with your emotions. If you don't trust the woman that you're with, then you're not going to, be vulnerable with her. Or say, for instance, you feel like that person, like you tried to be vulnerable with them at one point and it backfired on you. Like they didn't give you the response that you were looking for. So now you decide that you don't want to open that door up to them anymore. So I feel like it does have to do with a woman, because when you get with a woman, you expect them to be your safe haven. That's a person that you can always fall back on, especially if you're married, if y'all been in a relationship for years on years. You should be able to come to that woman. So if there's a reason why you're not coming to her, or why you're not being emotional with her, or why you feel like you're not comfortable, like you okay to cry by yourself, but you're not okay to cry in front of your wife or your girlfriend, that is some kind of disconnect between you and your woman, of why can't you cry in front of her? Why don't you feel comfortable? Because either it is about you not wanting to seem like you're weak, you don't want to seem like you're complaining, you don't want to seem like you're being a baby, you don't want to seem like, or you don't want her to judge you. You feel like she may not be emotional, so you don't want to cry in front of her because you may not get the comfort that you're looking for. So it does somewhat like revolves around the woman that you're with. It may not be about women in general, like, oh, all the women in the world, but it's about the one woman that you are with. So I would have to say I disagree with that. It's not about all women, but it's about the woman that you're with. That I feel like would stimulates about,
and vulnerability actually definitely plays a part. Like having to feel that you can be in a space with your person, and that person, you don't have to be so rigid, you don't have to be guarded or so you understand what I'm saying? You can, in this space, you're able to be, your feelings don't have to be covered up, they can be uncovered, and you feel safe doing that.
Okay, so
it said if a man is emotional and a woman can't handle an emotion. What about I missed?
It says, I'll be the first person to say that I admit I do not handle my emotions and mental pain. You have to be vulnerable with her. In order to love her, you will become vulnerable, and you can completely destroy your heart she can completely destroy your heart if you don't love her. And then he says, if a man is emotional and a woman cannot handle the emotional men, then they are not evenly yoked mentally. And then he said, I agree.
I there was a lot of different perspectives there. So yes, I do. Starting with being able to be vulnerable with the person that you with. Yes, it takes time that you're going to spend time. You're going to get to know this person. Is there a guarantee in love? Unfortunately, it's not a guarantee in love. Even if two people are evenly yoked, that doesn't necessarily equate to that's going to be a longevity relationship, because people change and they transform and things of that nature. But when you decide that this is your person and this is the person that you're going to do it with, and y'all going to do it together, then that means that unfiltered, we still together. Whether you happy or sad, we're still together. And I'm not going to judge you in a space that you're experiencing some difficulties that brings about in some emotional tears. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you a crybaby woman. It just makes you human. Mm-hmm. It's just like that's a natural human emotion. If a man is emotional and a woman can't handle an emotional man, then they are not evenly yoked mentally. And I don't disagree with that because in our chat this week, because we had a chat going in the She Shack group about this very topic, and that we had a woman in the group by the name of Monifa who basically said to us that on one perspective she wants a man that is in tune with his emotional self and that he can share emotionally with her in the form of in the shape of tears and feel safe with that. Then she turned around and said to us, but the exception to that was this. It's only in the event if somebody died. Otherwise, she didn't feel that she was emotionally equipped enough to be able to handle seeing her partner cry because she wouldn't know how to fix it.
I agree with that. I feel like some women say they want a man that's all in tune with their emotions, but they don't really want that. They don't really want that because I feel like when
now we get into the meat and potatoes.
I will say that because I feel like when you get a man that's all in tune with his emotions, and I was seeing that, I seen this on Instagram as well. When you get a man that's all in tune with his emotions, that comes in with like, what did they say? It comes in with
Because some men think if I'm in tune with my emotions, I'm all the way grown. Some men believe that, like that's their thing. Like that's when they say real men, and that's that thing about I'm a man or I'm a real man. Like I'm really a man because I embrace everything, all of the emotions, everything, and it distinguishes me from just being a man to being a real man.
Right. Okay. So what they said on Instagram was you what?
I don't know.
It says what she said I can't hear. The men can't even.
She said what she said I can't. You can't hear. We lost our sound.
He can't hear.
I don't know what happened. Have we lost our sound? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I turned on the button here.
It says it comes with a person that shows you a lack of love.
Wait, so what I wanted to say about a man in tune with his emotions and why women don't really want a man in tune with his emotions is because a man that's in tune with his emotions,
they can't hear you.
They can't hear me.
Yeah, say no, I hear you, but not Mara.
Maybe I need to.
I don't even have a mic on. I'm just enunciate. Hey, Steph. Thank you for popping in.
I think I need to slide where you were.
Yes, we can just.
No, I was saying maybe I need to put on my talking voice. I was saying I think why women don't really want a man in tune with their emotions because a man that's in tune with his emotions can also identify stuff. Like he can identify his emotions and he can identify the emotions in you that he don't like. And I feel like when he's able to do that, us as women, not all women, but some women, they don't like being called on their behavior. They don't like that. They don't like that. So it's like as a man that's really in tune with himself, like really in tune with himself, he can identify what's going on with him. And he can identify what you are giving him and what he don't like about it with your emotions, how emotionally equipped you are. So it's like if you saying like you make it seem like you got all your stuff together, but emotionally in tune man can be like, well, you don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to do this. And as a woman, you want to feel like I do know how to do that. I know how to talk. I know how to this. I know how to that. But you may not be actually all the way emotionally in tune with yourself, so you can't see where you're wrong at. But him being like, as a man, he know where he is. He did his self-work. He went to therapy, all of that. It's like he got the tools now to be able to tell you where you need to go work on yourself. And as women, we're mostly telling people where they need to go work on themselves. So I just feel like,
being able to receive that. Being able to receive that.
Yeah, so emotionally in tune men, they know they got it going on. They know what they talking about. They know what they doing. They know how to walk the walk and talk the talk. And some women aren't really ready for that, if you ask me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So now she done turned the tables. You done turned the tables have just shifted.
Look at my dad said he agreed with me.
The tables has absolutely shifted, and I agree with you as well. I think that you make a very solid and valid point that sometimes what you asking for is not what you really want, or you're not ready to receive what it is that you're asking for, right? So it's important to do the self-work. It's important to do the self-work, but it's also always, and I'm going to always go back to this point, I'm going to continue to go to this point, it's always never to forget the importance of waiting for what it is that you want, and asking God to give you the patience and the discernment and the will to wait. Because sometimes we just jump the gun. We don't want to wait for what it is that we want, but when we start jumping into these pools of other people that they're not meeting or not meeting what it is that our expectations, now we have a bad perception of them. And like someone just put in there and and it's a very big word, it's taking accountability. Because you definitely got to take accountability for your part and the role that you play in it.
That's true. And I seen the flea guy, he said something about survival mode, and I wanted to ask.
Oh, that was at the beginning of the show.
But I wasn't down here.
We almost
over.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask this one question. You said something about survival mode. So at what point do you feel like, from you being in survival mode, you having to, figure it all out, you having trials and tribulations, you losing people, etc. At what point in your relationship do you let go of survival mode and go into a partnership?
Into a partnership.
So at what point?
That's a great question.
Yeah. So at what point do you let go of all the survival? Like, oh, I gotta do this, and I gotta hold on to myself. And when you start to let yourself be vulnerable, like, does it take years? And do you expect your partner to wait around years for you to finally be vulnerable with them? If they're pulling for your vulnerability, how long do you expect the person to wait? And would you wait if it was the other way around?
He said depends on your age. Age play a big major factor in that. He said depends on your age. Guys, I want to thank y'all so much for this conversation.
We'll be back next Tuesday.
It has been absolutely, when I tell you, it has been a fantastic conversation tonight. It was amazing. Big shout out to my daughter who came and popped in on the She Shack tonight and brought the heat.
Yeah, I'll be back next Tuesday looking better.
She brought the heat. She came in bringing some great conversation with her and made some excellent points. It is always a fantastic time here in the She Shack on Tuesdays. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you join us next week. We will be going into self-care is not just for women. It's for men too. So in this month of November, we talking about highlighting our men, things that are important to them as well. We talk a lot about what women want, what women expect, and what women think of men. But I think it's also important for us to find out what our men are thinking. We hear a lot about self-care and romance me and date me. I want to know, and don't answer, how many men expect romance from their mate? We're going to talk about that next week on the She Shack, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at SheShackLive.com. Don't forget to visit us at Conversations with the Queen on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Don't forget to share and like our posts. That's how we keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing with your help. Thank you so much for watching us tonight. We love y'all.
Good night. Thank you. And follow my makeup page.
Oh, yes.
Makeup by Tamara _ Thank you.
Oh, listen. Listen, we have a whole... First of all,
Okay.
don't just say follow my page. Know that if you looking for some fabulous, if that face needs to be beat to the gods, this is the person for it. Every Tuesday, she has gotten me together and kept me intact. And even without the makeup, she still makes sure that I'm looking good. So, y'all, next week, I know she gonna bring it. So, be ready. We love y'all so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Did you like the changes to the she shake? We're gonna make it a little bit more
Nah, it's
comfortable.
still on. You gotta turn it off.
I got it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yep, that's hit the button.
Press
Boom.
the X.
Press in. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just share.
He said,
Yes.
wake the dog up. Billy tired. He had a long day.
Thank y'all for
Kayla, press X on the
watching.
other one. Press X
We
on.
love
No,
you.
just press X on that one. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We love